Let's be real. Pretty much every company out there is sitting on a mountain of data. But here's the problem, right? That mountain is usually scattered all over the place, in a dozen different systems. So today, we're going to explore how Azure Synapse Analytics makes this big promise to bring all that chaos together into one single, powerful view. So first things first, let's really get to the heart of the problem. It's this classic conflict in the world of data, something we can call the data dilemma. For years, businesses have lived in these two completely separate worlds. You had your neat, structured data for business reports over here in a data warehouse, and then, way over on the other side, you had these massive, messy data sets for big data analytics. And keeping them separate just creates silos, it slows down insights, and honestly, it just adds a ton of complexity. The real question is, why on earth should you have to choose? And that is the exact question Azure Synapse is designed to make totally irrelevant. The whole goal here isn't just to manage the dilemma, but to move to a single, unified platform that can just handle everything. Okay, so what is Azure Synapse really? Well, Microsoft calls it a limitless analytics service that merges these two worlds. And those keywords are actually pretty important. Limitless speaks to its incredible scale, and brings together gets right to its core mission, getting rid of those data silos we were just talking about. This quote, this really hits the nail on the head. It gets to the whole philosophy behind Synapse. It is all about flexibility. It's designed to let you work with your data how you want to, without shoving you into one specific tool or one specific way of paying for it. And you can see this freedom perfectly when you look at the choice between serverless and dedicated resources. You can think of it like your electricity bill. If your needs are unpredictable, maybe they spike up and down, we call those bursty workloads. You can use the serverless model. You just pay for what you use per query. But if you're running a factory and you need that constant, predictable, high-performance power, well, you can provision dedicated resources. Having this choice is absolutely fundamental to the platform's power. So, how do we start using all this power and flexibility? Well, it all begins with creating a central hub for all your analytics work, your command center, if you will. And that command center is the Synapse Workspace. This is literally the very first thing you create. It's this collaborative space where your data engineers, your data scientists, and your business analysts can all come together and work on the same mission. Okay, so you're inside your workspace. Now what? Let's take a look at the incredible toolkit you have at your disposal, the different analytics engines you can use to actually get your hands on the data. Synapse offers up 3 really distinct engines, and each one is a specialist for a different kind of job. You've got Synapse SQL, Apache Spark, and Data Explorer. Let's do a quick breakdown of what each one is best at. All right, let's start with Synapse SQL. If you come from a traditional database background, this is going to feel just like coming home. It's built for all that enterprise data warehousing stuff, and it uses the T-SQL language that, millions of developers and analysts already know and love. Then, for the really heavy lifting, there's a native integration of Apache Spark. This is your absolute workhorse for massive big data jobs. We're talking complex data engineering or building and training machine learning models. When the data gets huge, Spark is the engine for the job. And for those moments when you need answers like, right now, there's Data Explorer. Now this one's a bit more specialized, but it is incredibly powerful for near real-time analytics on streaming data. So think about IoT sensor data or live application logs. It is all about lightning speed and interactivity. So we have all these powerful engines, but how do they actually fit together? Let's walk through the end-to-end workflow and see how you can go from just raw data all the way to a real actionable insight. You can really simplify the journey into 3 key stages. First, you orchestrate and move the data into place. Then, you connect to live operational data for those real-time insights. And finally, you visualize your findings so you can share them with everyone. So step 1, orchestration. This is all handled by Synapse Pipelines. This is the integration service that really does the dirty work. It creates, it schedules, and it manages all the workflows that pull data from all your different sources and brings them into one central place. But what if you need insights on data the second it's created? Well, that's where Synapse Link comes in. And believe me, this is a real game changer. It lets you run analytics directly on your live operational databases, like Cosmos DB or Azure SQL, in near real time without all those slow, complex data migration jobs we used to have to do. And finally, All of this amazing analysis needs to be turned into something people can actually use, right? So Synapse is deeply integrated with Power BI. This lets you go straight from exploring data to publishing these rich, interactive dashboards, and you do it all without ever leaving the Synapse workspace. It's seamless. So we've seen how Synapse works to just tear down the barriers between different kinds of data and different kinds of analysis. And that, well, that leaves us with just one final question. When all the technical hurdles are finally gone and all of your organization's data is sitting there in one place, ready to go, what's the first big question you're going to answer? That is the real power here. Thanks for tuning in.